Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europe in Naples. Amidst all the construction noise and clanging and banging and pressure washers and traffic and motorcycles, it just never seems to end. The damn noise pollution is just always ever present. But I do have this 2006 Mercedes-Benz SL500 Roadster. This is not my first SL500 Roadster. In fact, it's far from my first SL at all. This is the R230 chassis. It's a continuation of an incredibly long and prestigious line of sports cars built by Mercedes-Benz, starting, of course, with the mid-50s Gullwing version, which was a true, street version of a proper race car. And, even though it stands for Sport Light SL, they really haven't been light for quite a long time. They became, in fact, quite grand touring luxury cars, particularly with this example. This thing is amazing. It's, I say it's the birth of the SL as a supercar, which some people laugh at me for. They say supercars have a lot more horsepower. I'm talking about the spirit of the thing, not the, 1,000 horsepower, Bugatti Veyron running 250 miles an hour. Yeah, I get it. That's a true supercar. What I mean is that it's a car that, is capable of some pretty amazing performance, is incredibly solid, incredibly tight, built for cruising the Autobahn at 150 miles an hour with, the absolute silence and, no vibrations inside at all. Just a beautifully crafted, high horsepower, lovely two-seat open roadster. This was from the ovoid era of Mercedes, the sort of roundish headlights, before they became all angular and squared off. I think this was a very attractive era. You can see the big star in the grille. This one has the AMG Sport package, which gives you front and rear bumper treatments. It gives you those twin spoke 5-star alloys, has nice tires on there. There's little arrow slats in the fenders and the hood. That's very classic SL styling, harkens back decades. And the car is drop-dead gorgeous. I think this is one of the best-looking SLs that Mercedes-Benz ever made. And of course, it was the birth of the folding hardtop SL from Mercedes, so pretty cool stuff there. We're going to start inside the trunk. Now, these crafty German engineers at Mercedes are always thinking, so you have a pretty good amount of trunk space, but how the hell do you get to it when you've got this big aluminum folding hardtop there? Well, they give you this little button you press. The thing lifts itself up. You're able to lift this partition, and blammo, you got access to all your space pretty easily. You don't have to put the top back up. You can fit a set of golf clubs in there if you want. It's one set. You're not getting two probably, but you'll be able to get them in there. Put the partition back down, hit the button, top comes back, everything good to go. Have a look under the hood. So, SLs have had all kinds of power plants from 6 cylinders to 12 cylinders and all points in between, but most of them have been 8s, at least in the modern era. And this is a fantastic 8-cylinder engine. 302 horsepower, very, very torquey, 5 liters, extremely smooth. I believe 3 valves per cylinder. The gas mileage isn't bad, certainly better than the performance would indicate that it should be, and fairly easy to service and absolutely bulletproof. It's mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission, shifts really smooth and nice, and is a fantastic power plant for this car, and absolutely bulletproof. BMW just can't build an 8-cylinder to save their lives. Every time they try, it just fails miserably. But Mercedes does. They build a grade 8. You might get stuff like the occasional valve cover leak or put a belt tensioner on it, but for the most part, it's just got like big rig style reliability, which is fantastic stuff. You never hear about one of these things having to come apart. You see it has a Mercedes-Benz battery in here. It actually has 2 batteries, this car, just like a motorhome. It's got a house battery for the the accoutrements, and then it has a starting battery. I can't remember which one this is. The other battery is under the hood, or sorry, under the trunk. But in any case, it's nice to see a Mercedes battery in there. That makes me think that the car got dealer servicing, and that's a pretty good thing. You can also see at the top of these shock towers the sensors there. What this thing uses is an ABC Sport suspension, which is sort of a hydropneumatic suspension system that does away with the need for coilovers and sway bars. It uses air and fluid to move the car, you know, dampen it in a way that sway bars could never do. It tailor makes the setup of the car for every individual corner and road condition you're taking. We'll get more into that in a minute. Anyway, everything nice and proper under here, all very lovely. It's a pretty low mileage car and it's in great shape. I love that Merlot metallic. Alright, so inside we have this beautiful cream beige leather with sort of a taupe-ish two-tone accent to it. This thing is keyless go, so it beeps at you even when the key isn't in it. You open the door and the damn thing just starts beeping at you. I mean, what the hell is it so scared of? I mean, I'm just opening the door. Relax. Anyway, if I want to lock it, I can just press that little square on the door handle. You see the lock went down. Open it, just put your hand on the handle. Everything good to go. There's a little button here on the seat you press. It'll move the seat forward and give you access back here to the rear stuff, including this little twig that my detailer appeared to have missed. If you pop open these guys, you see we have a CD changer there. Got a little compartment over there, good spot for the books or a sidearm. We've got these great little cargo seat belts which come down and click into that guy. So if you have, you know, a bigger weapon that you have to lay across there, or blueprints, or, you know, PVC pipes or something, you can just buckle them in and they'll be nice and safe. Press the little back arrow and back it goes. Takes its time, but it does go back. Over here in the door, you've got, again, the two-tone with the lovely sort of light wood in between. Got a great little pocket here to put stuff. You got your power windows, your 52-way power seats, your trunk release, your heated seats, your memory seats. You know, these things stickered out in the $90,000 range, so they're all very well equipped, regardless of whatever option box got checked off. You also have side airbags, nice stuff, and, you know, all in all, just lovely. So let's hop in this thing. Now, when you're seated in this thing, I mean, you just have this lovely feeling of solidity all around you. The way the doors, you know, thud closed, the look and the feel of all the materials, it just feels expensive and nice. We've got push button start, so foot on the brake, just tap that guy and it'll beep at you some more. Unbelievable. I'm really enjoying this weather. Man, I'm going to tell you, I mean, if you watch my videos over the, you know, course of a while, you know how hateful I am in the summer months with the humidity. I mean, right now we're looking at, what, 76 degrees. It's cloudy outside. It's just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm really enjoying the hell out of myself today. Anyway, beautiful wood and leather steering wheel. You got multi-function stuff on it. You can scroll through different settings and check out how everything's going. You got this weird and funky little instrument cluster there. I mean, I have to say, it's quite strange. The two little humps, the, you know, blue and darker blue, and it's, you know, do I love it? I don't know. No, not really, but it certainly gets the job done. You got your water temp over here, your 160 mile an hour speedo, your, man, 6,500 red line on that V8. That thing just screams. And of course your fuel gauge over there, which, you know, isn't going to be as bad as it could be, but don't expect something like you get in a Corolla. You got automatic headlamps, nice. There's xenons on this thing. You got your, of course, air vents, ways to turn them off, a little clock up there, your lock and unlock, your hazards. Mercedes-Benz command unit, the cockpit management and data system, whatever the hell that is. It gives you all your different navs and, you know, satellite radio, AM, FM, that sort of thing. Let's see what we got. Let's get put on a good station here.
In the history maker.
Nothing.
Call us at 888-455-30.
There we go. I don't know, Brian Adams, take him or leave him. You got these kind of great little over-engineered cup holders. Nice stuff, all very lovely. In-dash CD. I'm not going to eject it. It's probably the nav disc. although I think that's in the trunk actually. If we go back here, you've got your dual side climate control, lovely, beautiful wood, leather, you know, the materials in these cars are just fantastic. You got a comfort and sport setting on the transmission, which is a driver adaptive transmission, by the way, and you know, that is exactly what it sounds like. The transmission learns your driving style and will adjust itself accordingly. So if you're a lead foot, it's going to learn how to shift late, how to, you know, shift quick, and if you're, you know, one of these sort of creeping Jesus types, then it's just going to short shift and make you a little bit more comfortable. Also has a comfort and sport setting. You can see that over there, S and C. Electronic stability program, that's Mercedes-Benz traction control. It's a, you know, sort of German computer nanny that won't let you do donuts in the Walmart parking lot. It's going to kick on and apply the brakes to each individual wheel to keep you straight. So that takes all your fun away. Even if you turn it off, you think you're great, you got the yellow triangle, okay, I'm going to go do burnouts, forget it. And when you get over a certain amount of, you know, whatever the car thinks is safe, then it's just going to kick it back on. ABC Sport, that's that suspension, which is just fantastic. When you have it on, it goes into the sport mode, and it really dampens up the suspension. So the car's going to sit a little bit lower, the spring rate is going to be stiffer, and it's going to really handle the curves well. So if you're taking a really high-speed, hard left-hand turn, like let's say turn 1 at Sebring International Raceway, you know, where you're going 120 miles an hour, you're hugging the wall, all the pressure's on the right-hand side of the car, then it is going to dampen the hell out of the right side shocks to make them stiffer than the ones on the left side to keep the car level. So active body control. You don't get all this big, you know, rolling around, swooping the driver's side lower than the passenger side or vice versa. It just keeps the car nice and level. You got your power mirrors in between it. This is part of that suspension, which is quite cool. I press one button and it's going to raise the whole car a little bit. I press it twice and it's really going to sky this thing. You see vehicle being raised. So let's have a look at that. It's like you need a step ladder to get down now. Now that works out pretty nice if you know, you've got some kind of ground clearance issue, something you need to get over, a big speed bump. You just lift that car up and get over it, no problem. Now, you know, these things are pretty low in the front end, and I can't tell you how many bumpers on SLs I've had to fix and paint because people go over those parking blocks. They connect to the block like a grappling hook, and when you back up, it just rips the hell out of the bottom of the bumper. So if your significant other is prone to that sort of thing, just surreptitiously leave the car in this raised position, and you'll have a much better chance of not going to the body shop. Look at those big vented disc brakes with the big piston calipers there. Really pulls this car down in a hurry. Nice stuff. Alright, over here we got a glove box, which you'd expect. You got an owner's manual, nice leathery stitch dashboard. Up top you've got a electrochromatic mirror with the home link. You've got your Mercedes-Benz M-Brace. It's their version of OnStar. I can't remember, BMW stopped supporting theirs. I think Mercedes still is. If you press that thing, you'll get a cranky German woman asking you why the hell you're bothering her. You know, you got sun visors, whatever else. It's, you know, it's all very nice stuff. Oh, let's run the top real quick. First I'll do this. I'll run up the roll bar. Now this thing comes up manually with this button if you want. If you like the look of that, you could drive around with your roll bar raised. Otherwise, in the event of you know, collision, rollover, whatever, that thing shoots up like an airbag to give you head protection. So very nice safety feature. If you want to run the top, you press down on this big flapping thing. It lights up red. The trunk comes up from the reverse position. Up comes the beautiful aluminum folding hardtop. This seals itself nicely into place in the front. Windows come up. And the trunk goes down. Beautiful. So now you are in a very stylish, hardtop, sleek-looking coupe. Thing really is kind of a German Corvette. Maybe a Corvette's an American SL, I don't know. But anyway, you can see that body-colored roof, of course, made of metal, lovely, beautiful. Man, what a drop-dead gorgeous car this thing is. I love the curved roof line, the big back window. Just gorgeous. Really good visibility out of this thing. Look how nice the plastics are around the glass. Those things are often cracked and hazy looking. I put fingerprints all over it. All right, let me get my seatbelt on. We'll go for a spin. So these things have become really affordable, which is nice. They're in that zone, that SL zone, where, you know, the guys who want the latest and greatest aren't buying them. The guys who want the vintage cars aren't buying them. So you can get a hell of a nice example under 20 grand, like this one, and, you know, have yourself a, you know, $90,000 German high horsepower 2-seat folding hardtop Roadster for less than the cost of a new Forte. Just has the most beautiful growl and grumble. And that's in comfort setting. So what the SL does great is drive and deliver a beautiful driving feel. You know, it's heavy, but it doesn't feel heavy. It just feels substantial. Try not to get in a collision. You know, there's no body roll at all from that ABC Sport. Steering is incredibly precise. Oh, that's so nice. You get that V8 scream of rage as it just winds out to 6,500. Nice stuff. And that's it. I mean, again, that is what an SL... Well, okay, maybe that's not entirely what an SL is all about. It's also about, you know, looking pretty damn good. It's like you're an up-and-coming movie producer, or maybe a down-and-out one. I don't know which. Okay, now I've had an argument with a guy recently about this thing doesn't have paddle shifters. Well, it actually does. You can't see them. They're on the inside of the steering wheel back here. I'm not going to put the camera around, it'd be ridiculous. But you can see I'm not touching the shifter. And there we are, 5, 6, 4, 3. So I'm downshifting right now. The other way, 4, 5, so I'm upshifting. So, you know, whoever that guy was in the comment section telling me I'm a maroon for pointing out this car had paddle shifters, take that. There they are. Anyway, there it is. So this is a 2006 Mercedes-Benz SL500 Roadster. You know, this is a great time to get these cars. They're not going to get much more affordable than this for nice ones. And they really aren't that difficult to maintain. They treat you all right. You know, occasionally you have to put a top cylinder in one, or fix a valve cover gasket, or again, a tensioner, you know, some brakes, something like that. But it's a super quality made piece. And they are just not finicky the way some... you know, some German cars are. The 6 Series, God, you know, that thing will put you in the poorhouse from BMW. And yeah, again, I'm a Mercedes guy, so maybe they say the same thing about the SLs, but I don't think so. I think the 6 is definitely tougher to maintain than this car. Oh my God, is that lovely. So this thing's just a screamer, man, and so much fun to drive. If you have an interest, give us a call, 239-298-8000, on the web at aenaples.com. Thanks so much for having a look. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you with the next one. Take care.